people, the beginning of their spiritual journey is the moment when they realize that there is a stream of uninterrupted comments in their minds. And when they realize this, they immediately think, "This is fascinating." That's a thought, of course. But before the thought, "That's fascinating," there's recognition. It's like a voice in the head, and recognition is not that voice in the head. Although you can say it after the recognition, at the moment of recognizing, there is a voice in the head that is not a thought, because the recognition of the thought is not, in fact, a thought. The perception of the thought arises through awareness or presence, and that awareness or presence is high consciousness, the emerging new consciousness. Amazing, don't you think? So this is truly the heart of spiritual awakening. Actually, in this first part of our exploration, I'm going to discuss this in more detail. In the second part, we'll delve into more practical experiences. But even as I talk about this, I hope that if it resonates with you, you're already experiencing a deeper realization of what I'm sharing. Being self-aware is the ability to observe and reflect on one's own thoughts, emotions, and actions. This involves being aware of one's own existence and the world around us. When we dive deep within ourselves, something truly extraordinary begins to happen. It's as if we touch the essence of our existence, discovering an inner stillness that resides in the depths of our being. It is in these moments of profound silence, calm, and introspection that spiritual awakening begins. It is only when we cultivate this awareness that we can experience the true meaning of spiritual awakening. This means being present in every moment. In the spiritual journey, we realize that there is an inner voice, a constant flow of thoughts and comments. It's fascinating to observe this voice, to recognize it as something distinct from our true essence. For we are not the voice in our minds, we are the consciousness that observes it. It's a common illusion that we generate our own thoughts, but I believe that we are thought by thought, shaped by thought. This realization can be both humbling and liberating. Consider the mind as a room full of thoughts, worries, and distractions like piled up furniture. When we start emptying this room, removing the furniture, something remarkable happens. As the clutter diminishes, stillness sets in, and that's when the journey begins. In these moments, we're not just removing the noise of the mind, we're transcending the very notion of thought. Our consciousness expands, and we begin to perceive an ocean of calm that has always been there, even in the storms of thought. It is in this ocean of calm that we discover our connection with the vastness of the universe. Spiritual awakening is like opening a door to a transcendental realm, where the answers to life's deepest questions begin to emerge. It's a fascinating journey of self-discovery, where every layer of ego and illusion is stripped away, revealing the pure essence of our being, where we find a deep sense of peace, joy, and unity with all that exists. The great spiritual masters of the past taught us that to understand their teachings, we must first empty our cup. But how can we do this when our minds are filled with mental clutter? But the question is, how can we empty our minds? How do we empty the mind when it's full of confusion? This question is very common. It's as if we feel that to achieve enlightenment, we first need to empty our mind. But I ask you to pay attention. Emptying the mind points to something deeper. It points to the word emptiness. Emptiness is a fundamental concept in spiritual practice. Emptiness doesn't imply a lack of substance or value. Instead, it points to the idea that all things are interconnected and nothing exists independently. It is not absence, but fullness. Emptiness is a state in which we are free from the limitations of our thoughts and can fully experience the present moment. It is a state of pure awareness in which we can connect with our higher self and the universe around us. But I think spaciousness is a more appropriate word. Spaciousness is a dimension of our consciousness, but we can call it the spiritual dimension of consciousness, the deepest or highest consciousness. They're just words. It doesn't matter. This dimension exists in every human being. It is present. Many are unaware of its existence because the confusion is so dense that they don't realize the breadth behind it. That's why this capacity remains dormant. So, the most crucial achievement in our lives, of far greater importance than any material conquest, is to awaken to this inner spaciousness. When we talk about our daily lives, whether it's a great success, a failure, or, for most people, something in between, it's normal. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed, and we move between gains and losses, ups and downs. The daily mental turmoil obscures our vision, but there are moments when, in an instant of lucidity, we become aware of something. Moments when we become aware of a deeper reality. It's as if there's a hidden space behind the chaos, often overlooked or unrecognized. It's not necessarily labeled as something spiritual, but it's there, waiting to be discovered. Even those who have never been introduced to spirituality have experienced these glimpses, even if they aren't aware of it. And it is in these small glimpses that the journey towards understanding our true essence begins. These small glimpses of understanding are not enough to awaken the spiritual dimension that exists within them, but they are a start, a glimmer of hope. These moments can come to you in unexpected ways. They can happen when you go out into nature and witness something extraordinarily beautiful, like a sunset that for a moment makes you sigh deeply. Or when you contemplate the vastness of the ocean or the sky or the elements, the wind, the storm. For a brief moment you sigh deeply. It's a moment of intense aliveness. For a brief moment, all your focus is on that glorious view, and you feel something that transcends words. Later, you can look back on that moment and say, that was such a beautiful moment, but why? Well, the beauty of what you perceive may have been admirable, but you felt something in that moment. Perhaps you felt an intensified aliveness and a deep peace, what we could call a connection with your own being. But why? Because that instant of sensory perception of something vast or beautiful freed you, for a moment, from the incessant flow of thoughts. It's as if your soul has taken a deep breath and found a brief refuge of serenity in the turmoil of the mind. At a time like this, you're not thinking about yourself, your problems, your complicated life story, or your uncertain future. Actually, you're not thinking about anything. The relentless flow of thoughts temporarily slows down, and you find yourself in a state of serene stillness. In this awakening, you realize that you are more than just the sum of your thoughts, emotions, and external circumstances. You touch on a fundamental aspect of your existence that goes beyond the superficial layers of your daily life. This realization has the potential to be totally transformative, introducing a deep sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment. During these moments of awakening, you find yourself totally immersed in the present. You experience an intense aliveness that transcends the ordinary routines of your daily existence. It's a sensation that defies any easy explanation, but you feel that it has a much greater depth and meaning than your usual encounters. These glimpses of a higher reality serve as a gentle reminder that life extends beyond the ordinary, that a spiritual dimension is woven into your very being, ready to be embraced if you remain open to it. And once you have nurtured this awareness, these glimpses become more frequent and lasting, guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. In these precious moments of pure perception, you don't just witness beauty, you are beauty. You don't just observe vastness, you become vastness. Nature, with its inspiring beauty and boundless grandeur, offers a break from the chatter of the mind, a mind perpetually entangled in personal worries, past memories, and future anxieties. But by dedicating all your attention to the present, you transcend the limitations of thought and immerse yourself in a state of pure consciousness. Within this inner stillness, you connect with a dimension of your existence that transcends the limits of thought and form. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, recognizing a deeper layer of consciousness within you that remains untouched by the turbulence of thought and external circumstances. As your awareness of this dimension deepens, you unearth a source of inner peace and fulfillment, regardless of the challenges life throws your way. With this perspective, we perceive a reality that knows no boundaries, untouched by the restrictions of time, space, or human constructions. It's a reality that extends to infinity, encompassing everything that is, was, and will be. Those moments we're talking about are like gentle nudges that remind us that life transcends the superficial. They gently whisper that we are intrinsically connected to all living beings. Think, for example, a pure look from a baby, a look free from the weight of judgments and expectations. Observing a baby's gaze can be an incredible experience. It may seem random, but it's not. The moment you look directly into a baby's pure gaze, neither you or the baby are focused on thoughts. Instead, the two of you coexist in a dimension beyond words, a state of pure awareness. This is one of the moments that has the power to bring us back to the present, inviting us to see the world in a new way. In this gaze, we discover that our thoughts and judgments are not the only lenses through which we can see reality. There is a deeper wisdom accessible to us when we let go of our preconceptions and remain open to the profound simplicity of the moment. These moments can't always be recognized as inherently spiritual, but they do have a spiritual essence. For some, these moments serve as touching reminders of the intrinsic value of life, but for others, their minds remain entangled in a web of noise and distraction, making them blind to the beauty that surrounds them. They may see the look in the baby's eyes as merely cool, without truly understanding the awareness that radiates through those innocent eyes. However, for those who grasp the essence of the spiritual dimension in these small moments, it's a gentle nudge, pointing to the deeper purpose and meaning of existence, beyond all the chaos that often clouds our minds. When we understand this difference in perspective, it becomes clear that we often label things and people without really seeing them. The baby is not just cool. The baby embodies a symbolic wisdom and non-judgment that we desire. I'd like you to remember that spiritual awakening is not a single event, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and self-realization. The more we embrace the deep spaciousness that resides within us, the more we can navigate life from a place of greater awareness, empathy, and wisdom. So enjoy these moments, for they have the power to transform our lives, offering us a deeper understanding of our own essence.